had a conversation today with an individual that I've known for a very long time. And during the course of our friendship, I changed careers. And when he found out about that, he said, "Can I get some coaching from you? I have a whole bunch of friends that could use some help, and I just don't know exactly what to say to them." So we had a conversation, and he brought up different scenarios, and I provided coaching, which he then came back to me and said that it had made a huge difference as to how people can show up as professionals. If you feel like you're having a struggle with how you show up as a professional, how you show up in your interviews, how people perceive you as a professional, join my School.com community for free today. Hi, Taya McDaniel here, and I have a special guest, Alan Cavallo. He is a filmmaker and an absolutely wonderful individual in my life. Alan, thanks so much for being here. And the first thing I want to ask you is, how did we meet?
I was actually I'm a filmmaker, and so I was creating videos, and through a mutual friend, we were working on modeling. I mean, we were doing that, and we talked, and I told you that I had met a lot of people, actors and models that really weren't sure where their lives were going, and they needed guidance. And I knew that you, of all the people that I had met back then, you had the more mature, grounded type of personality. And because your age was closer to the people that I knew, I confided in you. How are you doing this? How are you succeeding? What what makes you successful when the people around they weren't feeling the same sense of belonging and of understanding who they were and where they wanted to go with their lives?
So, in terms of the coaching, would you say that I was providing greater guidance in regard to people understanding where they were, what their assets were, what were weaknesses that they needed to work on and improve, as opposed to avoiding those things and only focusing on what were their strengths? That in this way, becoming a more whole individual also creates an opportunity to be more of a whole persona and also product in a way, because often when we are professionals, we are our own brand.
Yes. Yeah, what I noticed is people that are in a particular profession don't think beyond that. They're just sort of focused in on feeling safe and making a living, but they're not tapping into what talents they have and want to pursue. And you reminded me that it's always safe to question what you're doing and to pursue and take a risk to try new things and figure out do you want to get stuck in a job for the next 40 years, or do you want to try to pursue your talents and your ambitions, which is going to make your life, as you said to me several times, when you enrich in your life, being paid is less important than how how you feel about what you're doing. And that's how I feel about me and my job. As a filmmaker, it's just a phenomenal pleasure. I would do this if I had to do it for free. And sometimes I do, because now I'm retired, I donate a lot of I do in-kind donations for nonprofits. So I provide them a service, but they get they get charged in kind. So I it's a write-off for me. But
Well, that's
yeah,
nice. That's
yeah,
very nice. And I think that's really important, because if you're really loving what you're doing, that is your dream job.
I'm very blessed. It's been my dream job since well before I met you, but I would say probably 19, and I'm
Yeah,
72 now. Yeah.
yeah. You don't look it.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
holding it together well. You know,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
So
You as well. You as well. Impressive.
well, thank you. And I would also ask you, in terms of like people that you shared this coaching with, did you see a difference in them as to those who took on the information and took on the coaching and applied it?
Absolutely. When I approached them, they were like, I don't know if I need that. Like, why do I need that? And I'm like, there's no harm in figuring out whether can help you. I mean, you won't know until you actually listen and take the course and listen to the what advice Taya can give you. So to me, if he doesn't serve your needs, then you move on. But you better to regret talking to Taya than to regret not giving yourself a chance to find out what valuable information he can provide you. That's what they came away with. They had doubts and they're like, oh, I was surprised that I learned as much as I did. Because I think we get a sense of knowing, we're just so confident and cocky. Oh, I don't think he can tell me anything about myself that I don't already know. And surprise,
Yeah.
it was,
And
it was,
and and what would you say has sort of been sort of my, acumen in terms of as a coach, as a person who is providing information to help others? What would you say is sort of like, my default as a personality myself?
I think because you had your own experiences of struggling and trying to figure out who you were, it didn't take long for you to get there. And I think because you're empathetic to the struggles of others, that makes your ability to tap into what they're going through easier for them to hear what you're saying and grab onto what value you bring to them. That's what I noticed when I talk with these folks, when I talk to my friends, and they kind of say the same thing. It's real interesting because they don't know what each other had said about you, and yet the consistent feedback I got was, first of all, pleasantly surprised. No reflection on you. It's just that I think to them it felt like a sales pitch,
Mm.
but it wasn't. I mean, like, oh, now what are you selling? And I'm like, yeah, just take a listen. And if it doesn't have any value, then just be honest and say thank you for your time. That's all you can do. But they all came around for the majority, similar saying, feeling that it was surprising to them, very valuable. And many of them made changes as a result. Whether it's a new job, new career goals, or having a better attitude about what they had chosen and choosing it. A lot of times they don't know they're making a choice because even not choosing, as you know, as you have said, not choosing is still a choice. I mean, whatever you do is a choice, even if you decide, I'm just going to let karma, the universe, make decisions for me. That's still a decision.
So, Alan, I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank you so much for your friendship. I want to thank you so
Absolutely.
much for also your advice that you've also provided me through the years. And just thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I'm honored. Thank you.